Hey guys, it's Packy again here with the house reviews, and yet again we have another two-hander. And today we're going to talk about some tips to improve your bowling game after a long break, kind of like this quarantine. So let's jump into it and help you guys get back into the swing of things. All right, so we're back with another review, and it is another two-hander, and we're just going to break his game down. We're going to give him two tips about his game, and then maybe a tip or two on how to come back from a long break, because he sent us this video and he talked about how he just got back and this was his first game back from quarantine, and he sent in this video to us to see what we could do to help him out. He was really excited to send it in to us. We're glad he got it over to us, and now we're going to give him some tips. So the first thing I notice is his balance at the line, because it's something that I work on a lot, so it's easy for me to look at it and say, this is something that he needs to work on, because it's also something that I need to work on. But, I can tell right here by his finish position, I love his knee bend. He's got some good knee bend, and he's got good spine tilt. It never gets too far hunched over, as you can see. We'll back it up just a little bit. He never gets too far hunched over. But the problem is most of his body weight is on this right side of his body. So if I draw a line kind of down through that left leg of his, let me draw a little better line. If I draw a line down that left leg of his, you'll notice that he is pretty leaned over to the right side. Maybe if this trail leg was more extended, or if his body was just shifted a little to the left. But since so much of that weight is on the right side of his body, it is going to be hard for him to stay on balance, which is why you see him, his ball gets to the arrows and he starts falling off his shot a little bit. But another thing that I noticed, which is probably another reason and a big reason why he does fall off to his shots, is because of the right here. You see his third step. So we're going to take notice, he starts left foot. First step is on 23, 24, let's call it, right here, probably up 23. And then his third step, so also his left foot, is out here close to 35. So, he's over here, he's on 35, 34, 33. He's drifting 10 boards in that one step, which now if I cut that body weight, if I cut that body weight right down, the middle of his hips, you'll see, he has, even if I cut it down the right leg of his, you'll see, a lot of the body weight is over here on this side of his body, where you see the ball is so far away from his left leg, it kind of pulls him off to the right. And then we'll look through his approach a little more and see, he does slide pretty much where he starts, around, 23, 24, 20, somewhere between 25 and 20 is where he slides. So if we could just eliminate this third step being so far out, I would say he drifts even a little bit to the right, which is not a big problem. But the issue comes in that third step where, he's walking pretty straight, and then all of a sudden you see this huge separation from left foot to right foot, or from right foot to left foot, where you see he is, it's going to be hard for him to stay on balance when he does drift that much. So I would just say, put maybe a bag on the approach, or put something on the approach to prevent you from walking that far left, just as a visual and physical reminder of saying, try and walk straight, or it doesn't need to be straight, but it does need to be a little straighter than that. So that's just something that I would say, as well as, try and point you in the right direction of, that left foot on that third step just needs to be a little more out in front of you instead of out to the left. And then as you see, he does come back in, and he does have good spine tilt. He has good knee bend. So it's not the usual things that I would say are keeping him off balance. It's really just the fact that at the line, his body weight is so far out to the right because of that third step, that I think he just needs to, bring it in a little more and keep it more in line with where he's going, and just remind himself to walk towards his target instead of away from it and then cut back in at the last second. And then the next tip I have for him would be to keep his hand a little more inside the ball. So we'll just look, and it's inside the ball. It's in a great position right here. And if he could come straight through that point, that'd be awesome. But just at the very end, we see right here, he is, he's trying to hook it from the outside of the ball. If I split down the ball right in half, or if I split just the ball right in half, you'll notice that his hand does come around the ball. And I think this could be achieved with maybe a one-step drill where he's at the line and he just swings the ball to his side without stepping at all. So a no-step drill, just a little foul line drill, and just swing the ball and make sure, kind of watch his hand and feel his hand on that inside part of the ball. And I think that would be huge to, get his hand in the right spot and make sure he's hooking it the right way to get good ball reaction and more consistent shots where his hand is up the back or on the inside of the ball, like a lot of professionals are and a lot of the top bowlers in the world are inside the ball. It's almost a requirement to get good ball roll and to get onto the PBA Tour and compete at that level. So something just to improve on would be getting your hand inside the ball and that balance. And now to talk about, some ways that you get back into it. You said this was your first game back. And I don't know if it's your first full game back or if it's your first practice session or whatever, but something I like to do, and I've done after my quarantine ended and, my bowling alley finally opened up after 2 or 3 months, was, just a 3-step drill, walk very slowly up to the line, take 3 steps, or, and then I noticed that it wasn't going well. So I switched to even a 1-step approach where I was just, swinging the ball at the line, taking 1 step and throwing it, making sure that my hand was in the right spot, making sure I could still, stay on balance. So it's all things that you're working on and that you could improve on and need to improve on to really take your game to that next level. Would be a 1-step drill, a 3-step drill, maybe even just taking those same 5 steps, but from half of the distance that you're at. So instead of starting up here, maybe you're starting up here next to the ball return and taking 5 steps and really just going slow, making sure that, you can stay on balance and that your hand is up the back or to the inside of the ball, or maybe some other things that you're working on. Maybe you were working on spine tilt for a while and it looks good now, but maybe you want to just really hammer it down and go a little slower, 3-step it, 1-step it. I would even say a no-step drill would be awesome where you just swing the ball and release it at, 5 miles an hour down the lane or 3 miles an hour down the lane, and watch how your ball rolls to make sure that your hand is in a good spot. And I think these are all things that I've done after this 3-month break, knowing that, I can't just come back and be the same. I'm going to have things that, I was working on that I'm going to need to work on again. So yeah, that would be my tips for you to coming back from this quarantine. I wouldn't jump straight into it. I'd start with a 3-step drill and then a 1-step, and maybe even just swing the ball at my side at the foul line to make sure my hand's in the right spot. But I do think you have a good foundation and something that you can definitely work with and improve on to definitely take your game to the next level where, you're at one of the higher averages in your league. So I would just take this advice, use it, and I think you can definitely improve your game to the next level. So thanks for sending it in. We really appreciate it and look forward to you improving and sending another video in where we see all these improvements and we can give you even more tips. So thanks again. We appreciate it and looking forward to seeing you. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. And if you want a coaching review of your own done by one of us house professionals, you can click the link down below for a 50% off discount code towards your bowling review. See you guys next time.